Okay, so we have the word next. Okay? You know,
Say hi to the camera.
okay. You know this word?
Pressure. Weightless. Began.
Okay, I'm gonna try to draw something the best that we can. Excuse me. At takeoff, the pilots would face extreme
Pressure.
Then, once in space, they would be.
Weightless.
Then, actual launches into space.
Again.
Okay. So let's try to draw that.
You draw it.
At takeoff, the pilots would face extreme pressure. So, like, push over stuff.
At takeoff. At takeoff.
The pilots would face extreme
The
pressure.
pilots would face.
So remember how I showed you, it's like you're being pushed back in the
I know.
chair and you can't move.
And he's being like pushed back into the chair.
Okay. Then once in space, they would be weightless. So a little bit like this guy looks. He's floating.
Then in space.
Once in space, they would be weightless.
No, there's once in space. No.
Okay. Then actual launches into space began. Actual launches into space began.
How will I show that? You do that one.
Okay, so actual launches are beginning. So maybe another rocket.
But there's a rocket here.
But this one is in the moon. It's next to the moon.
Oh.
So this one is in space, and this one is in Florida. We're making a palm tree. Okay.
That one's in Florida.
Well, it's usually where they launch them. Okay, that's the palm tree. So this one is still on.
Why would they launch it?
This one is technically still on the ground, even though it's not really. That's where it's been So, at takeoff, the pilots would face extreme pressure.
Okay, I got it.
Then, once in space, they would be weightless. Then actual launches into space began. So this is the actual launches. This is the moon and the stars. My stars are on my moon, but you understand that, right? So they're actually in space. That's the moon. Another moon. Okay. So you try to do it on your own, and then we'll cover it up.
During takeoff, the pressure was, there was extreme pressure. In space, they will be weightless. Then, real launches began.
Okay. At takeoff, the pilots would face extreme pressure. At takeoff, they would face extreme pressure. Then, once in space, they would be weightless. So now they're in space and they're weightless and they're floating around. Then, actual launches into space began. Okay? At takeoff,
there was extreme pressure.
the pilots would face extreme pressure.
At takeoff, the pilots would face extreme pressure. Then, in space, they would be weightless. Then, real launches began.
Actual launches into space began. Do you want to try one more time with the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
At takeoff, there would be extreme pressure.
The pilot would see.
Oh.
Because there is pressure, but it's the pilots are feeling it. That's what the pilots are feeling.
At takeoff, the pilots would feel extreme pressure. Then, in space, they were weightless. Then, some real launches began.
Into space began. Alright, ready?
At takeoff, astronauts would face extreme pressure. Then, in space, they would be weightless. Then, some real flights into space began.
Then actual launches. Actual launches into space began. Okay.
Let's do it again.
Mm-hmm.
At takeoff, the astronauts would face extreme pressure. Then they would then in space they would be weightless. Then some real takeoffs into space began.
Okay. But you get the idea that at takeoff, the pilots are facing pressure. They're in space, they're weightless. After all of their practicing on the ground, real takeoffs begin. Real launches begin.
Okay.
Now we're going to do, let's just see if we can do the writing at the same time. This is here, because I don't know how long we have before this battery dies. Okay. So.
What? The battery just died.
And it dies. And we can just go through this. Alright. The jet would go into climb and right a little bit neater. Okay, climb is with an I.
Oh, no, I meant to put an I.
We're going to do it.
I didn't mean to. I meant to.
Okay. Alright.
Where am I going to write it?
I'm sorry. Here. Okay. Ready? You okay? You okay? Okay, you